Sunday if you're already on Sunday, or whatever day it is when you actually see this video. Here it's Saturday night, 4th of October 2025, and the world of political developments regarding what's going on here in Israel and Gaza sits on tenterhooks as the tension builds in terms of what will happen next. Who is going to blink? Right? This is a kind of a Mexican standoff, as they used to call it, I guess, in some parts of the world, and or a duel or something. Who's going to blink first, really? Who's going to make the move, and what's the outcome going to be? Right now, it looks like the people in Qatar who can make this decision for Hamas are not yet of the mind to declare that they accept this fully. They want to negotiate. So there's going to be some negotiation, but expect that that will just take probably a matter of days, not weeks. So expect that probably this week there will be some kind of resolution to this situation. It's not going to go on for weeks and weeks. At least that's the current consensus. All the political pressure is on Hamas now to do the deal. There've been mixed messages. They say they want to negotiate. And look, to be honest, yeah, there are things that are not specified. So, I mean, of course, they're going to use those as reasons to ask to negotiate. But I would say, from the position of if I were Trump, but it doesn't matter what I say. But I think that you know maybe it would help if Trump says no. You got to take the deal, take it or leave it. No negotiations. You can ask for the negotiations, but that doesn't mean you get. There are some things that need to be agreed on that are not specified, like who's going to be actually the force that takes over, what is their mission going to be, etc. So what's the chain of command? How do they vet? Who has ultimate control, etc. I think those kind of questions need to be answered, and the sooner they're answered, the better. But that doesn't mean that Hamas can't accept, in principle, the 20-point plan and move the ball forward. And as if they want to actually end the war, like they claim, but of course they don't all claim that. In fact, they want to continue it. So far, we've seen that they only want to continue it, right? But now they're showing some kind of willingness. They said that they can envision giving up their weapons under certain conditions. Yes, they also said they want to maintain involvement in the affairs of the area, and even including up to when they build towards the final status of achieving statehood. Well, it's not going to be acceptable to Israel to have Hamas in power, or frankly anywhere near power, right? The whole point of the war is to remove them from the position that they could ever do this again. Not do this again in the name of some other political party that they invent, or do this again themselves after some time, creeping back into being accepted as normal, even though they're not. The point is to remove their ability to ever do such a thing again. But obviously, we know, yes, many of them will just go on. If they disavow whatever violence is Hamas, but they still want to maintain their radicalism, they'll just form another group, just like Al Jilani did with HTS. Right? Trimmed his beard a little, put on a suit. Now everyone treats him like a normal politician, even though he's not. He's a jihadi. And he's literally only making these deals with people in his long game of strategic ambitions to do the jihadi thing. Don't get it twisted. He's not a friend of the West. It doesn't matter what he said in his public speeches. He has a long way to go before he can be believed to be a credible, ally of the West. He's not an ally of the West. Do not get it twisted. Yes, he was anti-Assad. great, wonderful. But he hasn't actually helped the situation drastically in terms of calming down unnecessary firefights and mass slaughters, right, that his forces led. So it's not exactly like he's a great example of a person that can be seen as a credible champion of peace. Now, does he have political interests that may lead him to make decisions that eventually end up becoming or become that end up being wise at some point in the future or perceived to be that way? Hey man, anything is possible. And people can change their ways and people can improve, but it usually takes a lot to demonstrate that, especially when you've been as deep in the dark side as this guy has been, right? Like, don't forget his roots. Don't forget what he's done. It's not irrelevant. If you think he's just suddenly given up all of those ambitions just because he has some fake presidential title right now, and it is fake, by the way, he's not the president of Syria yet, right? That's why he wants to run these elections as quickly as possible so he can be officially declared president. And then, haha, he's got power now. And then he stays in there for however long, how many decades he can stay in there, right? You don't think seriously that they're going to have like a proper free and democratic vote in Syria anytime soon, do you? Like, don't kid yourself. Even if this one appears to be free and democratic, he will be basically the only candidate. Okay, whoever else is running against him does not have a chance currently. He'll have all the money in the world compared to them to campaign to be the president, and he'll win. And then after that, you think he's not going to rig the system in his favor? Of course he will. I'm just pointing that out because people shouldn't get it twisted. Like, is it a good thing if Israel and Syria can formally end their war? Sure. Is it a good thing if Israel still has the right to help with the Druze if necessary? Yes, it is very good. And hopefully they will do that, exactly. But will they actually stop attacking Kurds? Will they actually stop attacking Alawites and Christians? Will they actually stop attacking Druze? You know, these are serious questions that one needs to ask. And will they actually maintain their non-war status with Israel? Right? All those things would be wonderful, and over a long period of time, maybe 5, 10, 20 years, could demonstrate that Syria is indeed a real partner for peace if we ever get to that stage. And they demonstrate over time that they're actually an active partner in peace as opposed to the cold peace we have with Jordan or with Egypt. Relatively cold peace when it comes to the public, between the people, right? Israelis are not exactly welcome in Jordan. Although plenty of Jordanians go to Israel, no problem. But if you're outwardly Israeli in Jordan these days, it's unfortunately not very advisable. It's possible, yeah, you can go to like the resorts and stuff, but if you go anywhere that involves meeting people in the street, it's not really advisable. Um, Hello there. I see your message. And to answer your question, no. Anyway, that's gonna do it for now. I'll talk with you later on. So, you guys, if you like this video, go ahead and hit the like and the subscribe and the share and leave a comment. Let me know what you think. All right. Let me know if you think if my analysis is spot on or off base or whatever. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're going to come at me with claims, please bring evidence. I love that. All right, folks, take care. Peace. Bye.